Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Code for Giants Cup. Code for Giants Cup Latino America number 5. Your bi-weekly dose of Latin American StarCraft. I'm of course just live VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. And before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Paquito in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Paco Mike for subscribing for 10 months in a row. Thank you. Thank you so much, Paquito. Good to see you as always. And again, great to see another Latin American tournament after quite some time. As I mentioned last week or a couple of days ago even, Code for Giants Cup has recently returned. Did go on a bit of a hiatus, especially after last year, especially after the big Circuito Brasileiro, which was the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. But now we're back. Now we are back. We were live yesterday, of course, with the regular Code for Giants Cup, and now we're live with Code for Giants Cup Latino America as well. This is basically an event that is region locked to Latin American players, and we're able to experience them here and now. Here we go. Again, this did occur over the weekend. We were unable to cover it live at the time as we were otherwise preoccupied with other events. Weekends especially are very, very busy for us, so we are catching up via those replays. And again, we'll hopefully be catching up soon. As I mentioned previously, but February and March was just full of Home Story Cup, Rongi Cup, Lil League Cup as well, Thunderfire. Like, there were just so many tournaments to catch up on. We have since caught up, and now we're just catching up on all the like weeklies and bi-weeklies. So Code for Giants Cup, Wardy TV Mondays, Pegasus Cups, for example, and we're almost there. We're almost fully caught up. RSL, of course, the playoffs do begin this weekend, so we do have to catch up with the RSL. But eventually we'll be caught up with everything. Let's go, puppy, let's go. So yes, here we go. We have our first series of the broadcast. Going to be jumping into our ZBT. Going to be jumping into Erik versus SpeCial. We mentioned this previously here, but of course, Erik, he recently came back to StarCraft. He did take a big break. He was suffering from some wrist pain, some wrist issues, so did take a step away from the game, but recently did return. I want to say a couple of weeks ago. So still only recently returning, so still kind of gaining his footing, and we'll see how he compares to a player of the caliber of SpeCial. Let's go. Let's go. Let's jump on in. Game 1 is going to be on Winter Madness. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Brazilian Zerga player. We have the red Zerga. He's one of our own, baby, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Beautiful. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the Mexican Terran. It is SpeCial. So getting to our first series of the broadcast, and already we do have a bit of a special opener. Again, SpeCial is known for having a vast array of unique builds and unique styles, typically unique to SpeCial. Something he's very fond of here is going 2 racks, not even 2 racks Reaper, but a racks into factory, into low ground setup, into a faster expansion. Especially on these larger maps, it's kind of what I'm leaning towards here initially. We'll keep an eye on SpeCial to see if he does go into 2 racks Reaper or racks into factory instead. So keep an eye on him. One of the plus sides of this is you're able to wall off very quickly here before expanding and set up your Sim City. One of the downsides, of course, is if you're up against a Roach or Lin, your production is exposed, specifically the racks, the factory, and the starport. As you can see here, there is no second racks. Again, as I mentioned, it should be racks into CC into factory. He might go factory before command center. We'll see kind of what order we go for when it comes to the opener of SpeCial. Meanwhile, across the map, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here by Erik, going into his own economic start. Erik, he's also known for being very chaotic and very creative, I will say, when it comes to his builds of choice, and I don't really know what he's kind of funneling or what he's settling into nowadays. He's very often fond of, say, like 2-base Muta, which is now more viable, 2-base Stormhost or heavy Roach play, typically very like unorthodox, aggressive, weird timings is what we expect out of Erik. Meanwhile, it looks like we have confirmation. It looks like it is going to be the factory before command center. Okay, so that's going to allow for a faster Hellion production. It will be a delayed economy out of SpeCial, and the Overlord should confirm. And again, there's no surprises here. Like, this is a very common build specifically for SpeCial, and Erik does confirm. Meanwhile, early Roach Horn. Ooh, okay, early Roach Horn out of our Zerg player. This Roach Horn was thrown down before the scouts. I'm not too fond of the idea of this. I will see. I mean, I did mention that a Roach All-In can work really well against this, but I would say a 2-base Roach All-In, this feels very early, and we're even going into a fast lair as well. So we'll see how this all does come together for Erik. Meanwhile, the Reaper does break in. Just dancing with the Zerglings. They're looking to get into the mineral line. The Queen has arrived, and the Reaper should be zoned away. Now the question becomes, what are we doing with this lair, and do we scout? The answer is, oh, the Reaper gets in. Yeah, the Reaper does get in. Kaiswell against the Zerglings goes further forward and does get eyes on the fast lair timing. Now with a fast lair, this could be a Link Queen Nidasoul in. We're going to try to get a better scout here, getting behind the mineral line, and can we get in? Oh, now trading with Lings. Oh, I mean, yeah, there's no queen. Because of the lair, there is no queen in the main base, so we abuse that fact. The drone's going to be going down, and this is getting out of hand. The roaches are revealed. Roaches are revealed. Reapers that go further in, and this is already brutal damage being dealt with catching all those lings with, oh god, no, it's not a full wall. Yeah, no full wall off. Meanwhile, 2 more drones go down in the natural. Can we get 3? Oh, we can. Yeah, 3 drone kills in total here. Nice damage. Meanwhile, it is going to be a 1 base Spire. That's we're on 1 base saturation at this point. So again, very fast mutas. This can be in the back of SpeCial's mind. Remember, he did scout the lair, so he, in his mind, should be thinking like Nidasoul in, muta play, fast like infestation pit, something crazy like that. It might be worth it just sacrifice the Hellion and go further in. He's going for it. He goes for the dive. Yeah, he does barely get into the main base. So with 1 HP, sorry, 2 HP, he does scout the Spire. He knows. He sees, he knows everything. Back at home, he's ready, he's walling up. Cyclone production has begun. And Erik shouldn't achieve too much with these roaches. As the Cyclone is out, does focus out 1, 2, 3 roaches and the Ravager as well. Massive pickoffs. Again, has plenty of anti-air, can soon start to push across the map, and Erik, he can't afford anything. Like, again, the drone count is just so low. Here comes the push. Let's go. Yeah, here comes the move out. As SpeCial does commit. We have a handful of mutas on the way. And it's going to be a tough hold here for Erik. It's going to be tough. He is supply blocked. Yeah, brutal supply block with the Zerg. Cyclone, the Lockhorn is broken. Second Cyclone has arrived. Nice pick up micro. Saves the first Cyclone. Saves 1. Saves the other. Yeah, pulls away. We have a handful of mutas, and so far Erik, he is holding. He is barely holding on here. As we arrive with another medevac. We can just try to fight head on. Yeah, with more Cyclones dropping. Ooh, and how many mutas are going to be going down here? Yeah, losing up to 2. 2 mutas do fall. There's 2 mutas left. Oh, does save one of the Cyclones. No, the lock-on. Getting another Mutalisk. SpeCial does boost away. Again, these have been worth it. These trades, I mean. Behind this, making more Cyclones. Viking production has begun. Catching up more roaches. And Erik behind this still on a very low drone count, 37 SCVs. Sorry, 37 drones. Meanwhile, third CC is on the way for SpeCial, building up into a 3-base economy, and there just isn't really much here to harass. We're down to 4 mutas here from Erik. They can try to poke in. I mean, they have to, right? They have to poke into the main base. They have to try to find some economic damage. Thankfully, there is no turrets. Interestingly enough, there is an eBay, but no turrets have been built here, so a bit of an oversight out of SpeCial. Does allow for 3 SCV kills. So we do get some counter damage. You know, roach speed is on the way. Erik, he is droning up to 2 base saturation. Still is behind economic. Oh no! Does barely put away and does not lose the muta. Bit of a waste of a scan. Erik does pull out. And really we're just worried about the eventual counterattack, especially with mech on the way. Macfield accelerators, second factory, Mass Cyclone. Mass Cyclone is going to have a field day here against a roach, against roach muta. I mean, both would work here, whether it's bio or just going Mass Cyclone. Cyclones are coming from behind. Ooh. Catching on the Mutalisk. Here comes a counterattack. Now, how many roaches do we have back at home to defend? We have 2, soon to be 11. So 11 roaches, 2 ravagers, 1 upgrades will not factor in. It's going to be a tough hold here at the third. Reinforcements not quite getting caught out. Carry back against the roaches. Picking off 2 so far. And 2 roaches do fall. Last one quite connects. Vikings, they could even just land here to fight with the roaches. Now just running away the mutas. Yeah, and the Cyclones, they hold their own. They just hold their own here. They pull the Roach Raptor apart. Down to 3 roaches. Down to 2. 2 roaches left. And again, Erik just doesn't have the economy to sustain these losses. Just doesn't have the economy. It was just a really rough early game. To be scouted, to be seen, so the muta play just wasn't worth it. Hatchery goes down. Does catch a roach at least? Sorry, a tank? No, saves the tank. Tank is saved. Vikings do land. And SpeCial is waddling in. It's waddling into the natural. We can see that Erik, he has been able to build up a decent roach count to defend. But there's no reason for SpeCial to push at this point. Like, the damage has been done. He killed the third. That's all he really wanted. Boost back home. And now he can just macro. He can just macro, build up, claim his third base, work towards a fourth, fully saturate. Fourth CC is already in production. And get further ahead. Do have infestor production here from Erik. I mean, that's a way to punish an over-aggressive Terran. An over-aggressive Terran player. So if SpeCial is overly aggressive with Battle Mech, then a couple of fungals could lock him down, and we could see a better fight from Erik as a result of that. But only if SpeCial pushes, and we can see that SpeCial is already switching into tanks. So he's done with Battle Mech. He's done with Battle Mech, building up more tanks. SpeCial. Mr. Erik, time to be baffled. I mean, there was a method behind the madness. Tank Boy is going to be going up. And GG at all. Yeah, GG at all. There's no way to break this position, and SpeCial takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SpeCial does take the first game. Again, winding it all back here, we saw an insanely fast lair out of Erik. I mean, if you remember, it was roaches into the fast lair. But again, because everything was so fast, one, it meant that there was no second queen in the main, right? There was no queen because the lair was being built instead. So it meant that it was easier for the Reapers to scout. They go into main base, they confirm the lair, and they also confirm the roach horn, and they also confirmed the spire as well. Like, they scattered everything needed to be seen. So SpeCial was able to react, able to respond, able to get ready back at home, and shut everything down. So it was just a really rough start there for Erik. He was trying to be cheeky, but he was seen at every turn. So we'll see if he does. Or I mean, he should be mixing up his builds, should be switching things up here, and we'll see if he can get a fast one on a SpeCial. As I mentioned before, I do think that like roach play could have been really strong to punish SpeCial's build, but that would have been like 2 base roach play, and we didn't quite see that here. We saw mutas instead. It got shut down. Let's go. Let's get into our next game. This morning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing the CranKy Ducklings. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Erik. Erik. And this morning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran, the blue Terran. It is SpeCial. Once again, going for that low ground wall off, going for that Rax into expand or Rax factory expand. Looks like the same build here from SpeCial. And once again, I will reiterate that this build is vulnerable to roach all-ins just because the production is exposed here on the low ground. Last game, we had a fake roach all-in out of Erik going into mutas instead, but the muta switch was scouted, so didn't really come into play. We'll see what Erik goes for this time, if he commits into roaches or if he even just plays standard and plays macro specifically. Standard isn't really the word that I should say with Erik, but whether he gets like a third and drones and saturates. We'll see. We shall see. As from here, we are just going to be deciding our build. Looks like it is going to be into that factory. So gases have been taken. I say that. I believe previously it was, yeah, factory before second depot. So we might be going for the faster CC. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. There's that factory, so delayed command center. The overload will confirm. So overload does dip in. And does confirm the factory timing. Once again, this time responding with his fast roach horn. It's a 2-minute roach horn here by Erik. Taking a second gas geyser. Well, it's the same build. Yeah, Runslinger going for the fast lair. This tells me there's only one queen to defend. This tells me that it's going to be a little bit easier for the Reaper to scouts. We'll see if Erik can deny that scout this time. Has the Reaper just had free reign? Yeah, that's good. Zergling's in position. Trying to buy time. Ooh, one Zergling goes down already. Yeah, rough loss there for Erik. Queen pops out. Queen does pop, rotates into the main base. We got double Reaper into the main. Pokes in. And what do we see? Fast lair. Okay, does confirm the lair, does confirm the same build so far. I mean, for he knows, it could be mutas again, it could be more commitment into roaches. One Reaper does get picked off. Okay. The other gets in. Oh, the other does get in. It gets behind the mineral line and confirms there's nothing else here. Or at least he should. Helene is thrown away. Reaper killing another drone. That's 2 drone kills so far. Can we get 3? No! Yeah, 3 drones going to be falling. There we go. Does get the full scout. Does confirm no spire. Now that the Reaper goes down, do we now throw down the spire? Yep. There we go. So this time Erik waits until the Reaper falls before committing into mutas. So this time the spire is unscouted, but it is more delayed. It is delayed. Roaches are pushing. SpeCial is setting up Pachyderm defensively, getting a second Cyclone. And remember, this is a fake out. And due to the Cyclones, SpeCial can chase this down. Oh, bold move. He moves out. SpeCial moves out. Erik is supply blocked, as he just lost his scouting overlord. SpeCial, he commits, which means there's nothing at home to defend. Remember, because Erik isn't making more roaches, he actually has nothing at home. He has 1 queen. Oh no, he has 1 queen to defend. Erik is across the map. SpeCial busts into the main. There's only drones. There's only drones here. The boys, they have to be pulled. Oh god, the move. Oh no, they're not on a moving. And now they come in for the surround, but so much damage is done. 7 drones do fall, and we get a full scout as well. At the same time, the Ravagers, they get into the natural. Ooh, nice bile, catching out 3 SCVs. Oof. Only the 3 though. Only the 3. The workers, they drill the Ravagers to death. They get a 4th SCV. Meanwhile, 14 drones go down across the map. Critical damage, and Erik, he cannot get into his 2-base muta. He cannot do it. Again, he was trying to be cheeky, trying to get into muta play. This time SpeCial did punish. Remember, Erik, he had only 1 queen to defend, and he had no defensive units. He was droning. He was droning up. Missed the move out due to the fact that he lost the overlord. And now we're down to 2 roaches, down to 1. Down to 0. We have 2 mutas out, which can also be focused down. Oh god. Critical losses here, so we're down to 1 mutalisk. The liberation has arrived. Yeah, you can just fight the mutas, to be honest. Just fight the mutas. GG gets called, and SpeCial will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played, SpeCial. He will claim the series. Again, Erik attempting to go 2-base muta, or like 1-base muta even for game 1, both games in a row. We saw that SpeCial in game 1 was able to scout, confirm, react, to respond. Here in game 2, we saw SpeCial go for a bit of a risky maneuver by going across the map with his drop. Fun fact, if if Erik was actually going for a Roach Ling all-in and a Roach, yeah, like a Ravager Ling all-in, then he might have been able to kill SpeCial because he did break into the natural regardless. If he had committed a little bit harder, then, I mean, at least he would have been able to defend and attack at the same time. So it was a big gamble, a big risk that SpeCial went for. Luckily enough for SpeCial, it was 2 base meter again. So he was able to punish Erik. There was no units back at home. There was 1 queen to defend. GG. GG all played. 14 drones had fallen. And with that, SpeCial does advance on into the next round. Speaking of next rounds, let's go. Let us go. Up next is going to be SpeCial versus a MasTeR in the semifinals or semifinals here. It's going to be a TVP, and we're jumping into game 1 on 10,000 feet. Oh boy. Jumping in. Pero gracias, Gracias, gracias. Thank you. So we're jumping into our first series this morning. In the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. This morning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran player, the blue Terran. It is SpeCial. Juanito, papi, Juanito. Here we go. We're loading into 10,000 feet. One of the smaller maps of the map pool, smaller map, shorter rushes and spike rounds. We'll see how aggressive SpeCial plans are being. SpeCial is known for being hyper cheesy, hyper aggressive in Terran versus Protoss, so we do expect this to be a short series, or at least short games. So we're leading towards aggressive builds here from SpeCial. Meanwhile, MasTeR, he's known for his mid-game play, so we'll see if he can survive the aggression and get into a much more comfortable mid-game instead. We'll see if he can get there. So now MasTeR does scout for proxies. Checks the third base first before moving out across the map. Meanwhile, double gas opener out of SpeCial, going for a faster factory. 1 base all in is a viable option here for SpeCial. It is an option. So again, we are going to be setting up. There's that faster factory. This can lead into a 1-1-1, like racks into factory into starport, or racks into factory to second factory. Like that is, these are available here for SpeCial, and I would say that he is one to mix in those 1 base all-ins. Otherwise, you should be seeing a a natural base. Should be seeing a CC after this. Nice run, Juanito. Especially does go for, yeah, he's 1 base all in. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. So good thing we brought it up. Again, like, there are very few Terran players that I would, you know, consider 1 base all-ins at the start of the game, but SpeCial was one of them. The other players that I often bring up are Gumiho and Ryung. So Gumiho, Ryung, Milky Cow's the other one, SpeCial, like these hyper cheesy players. So straight at 1 base all in, MasTeR does move in for the scouts. Hallucination does confirm all the production, and now he knows. Yeah, he's worthy all in. Back at home, we need defensive setups here. Ideally, yeah, we go extra gateways, going for a 4-gate setup. First battery's already done, a little bit early, but the battery is complete. And we need more batteries. More batteries, potentially even a second pylon. Here comes SpeCial. Rallying our Marines, tanks, pools of boys. We have 4 batteries here in the natural base for MasTeR. Getting 4 batteries up and running. Again, he saw the add-on setup as well. He's aware of the tank production, or potentially cyclones, but should be tanks. Special does commit in. The tank trying to get within range. So far, the Stalkers, they hold their own. Waiting for the tank to siege. Yeah, a little bit late here for SpeCial. Does keep pushing in. Does keep moving forward. Takes down the Twilight Council. Nice big off, no blink. Now the worst thing that can happen here is for MasTeR to deal with this before the second tank arrives. Second tank is not coming in. And massive tank shots going off on the Stalkers. Again, there's no charge, no upgrades. It was also really unfortunate that Twilight Council was exposed here on the low ground. It was in the main, then we could finish an upgrade. Charge would have been huge. And this might just be too much. Yeah, this might be too much. There's just no way to dive, right? Without charge or blink. MasTeR can't, he just can't get on top of the tanks. He's gonna go for it. Massive tank shots on the Zealots. Holds his own here within range of Liberator. And the Stalkers are going down. They're going down one after the other. Massive tank shots. Again, we're down to 5 Stalkers out of 4. 4 Stalkers left. Down to 3. With an extra warp in, maybe. But it's within range of the tank. The tank is a little bit far behind. But another tank is coming. Another tank is coming in. MasTeR pushing further forward. Boys are being pulled. With the help of the boys, we might get on top of one of those tanks. It's close. Yeah, it's looking very, very close here. Massive tank shots here on the Stalkers. Does target fire. And the final tank is barely going to go down. And MasTeR, he's holding. He's holding on. Takes down the tank. It cost him everything. But he's holding, papi. And SpeCial, he has no natural, right? There's no follow-up. It is completely one base all in. The longer this goes on, the better it is for MasTeR. MasTeR did lose 7 probes in the process, but he still has the better economy. Things are still looking better here. SpeCial dips into the main. Attempts to harass. He's getting ready here for a second wave, but the second wave is going to be weaker this time. The one thing working for SpeCial, as I mentioned before, was the Twilight Council placement. Even after the defense, there's no upgrade, right? Again, like charge or blink would be such a massive upgrade here for MasTeR. If only he had a Twilight Council. Oh. Stalker's going to be zoned away. 2 tanks moving in. MasTeR trying to get ready. Yo, we got the Starlots. Let's go. Once again, can he get on top of that tank? Nice target fire here with the Stalkers. Does focus fire. Gets 1, gets 2, down to 3 Stalkers. But the Zealots, they get on top of the tanks just barely. They get on top of both. Both tanks go down. And MasTeR holds. Yeah, MasTeR is holding on. He's holding papi. Oh my god, barely gets the Liberator. Just barely. Takes out 9 SCVs. SpeCial down to 15. Under 1 base saturation. Yeah, and with that, this is going to be the final army here. Again, the medevac trying to hold on. A nice control, pulling away. Breaks the lock on. Oof. Medevac does fall. Oh, who gets routed though? Yeah, MasTeR gets caught out. Losing almost every single Stalker. Once again, no blink, right? Like, once again, there's still no Twilight Council. We can't really afford it at this point. Not anymore. We're still getting very messy. Very messy here. Okay, tanks to siege. MasTeR, he has to be careful. Here come more boys. Pulling the boys for the 3rd time. The 3rd wave. This should be the final wave here. but SpeCial's already got 2 tanks. Like, it's crazy. He can afford this much. I'm loving the surround setup, though. MasTeR hiding his units. He's ready for the surround. Luring SpeCial in. And now he goes for it. Yeah, he goes to the dive. 1 tank is sieged. Tuz coming for the surround, and he should clean this up. There we go. Takes down one of the tanks. Takes down the Liberator as well. There's 1 tank left. It does also fall. Now I can just pull back. Now just pull back, heal up. Save his Stalkers. Nice control. SpeCial, we were a little bit indecisive. Okay, time for wave 4. Time for round 4. The power of mules, man. You just keep going. This is a risky maneuver here from MasTeR. It does mean that he has significantly less to defend, but he's going for the counterattack to catch reinforcements and to try to end the game. Doesn't get the Marine. Yeah, that was not ideal. He didn't catch any units. And he's in danger of being surrounded. Oof. It gets a volley from the tank. Does not kill. Doesn't get the Cyclone either. Yeah, rough moment for MasTeR. At this point, I would suggest saving up for a Twilight Council, but I mean, he's got a Robo instead. As a Robo, you can get into Immortal production. He's set up here on top of the ramp. Tanks are on siege to better engage here from MasTeR. Takes out the Cyclone. He wants those tanks. GG, and MasTeR, he takes game number 1. Whew. GG, MasTeR takes a lead in the series. Does take a lead here against SpeCial. The 1-base all-in did barely fail. It was close, though. It was very, very close. Again, able to deny the upgrades, take down the Twilight Council, wedge himself into the natural as well. A little bit fortunate that SpeCial's tanks were a little bit too far back. They were just barely out of range of the rest of the production and the rest of the batteries as well. So it made it a little bit more difficult for SpeCial to really push in, and MasTeR barely held on. Whew. And with that, MasTeR takes the lead as we load into game number 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. There's less of a chance here that we see a 1-base all-in now, as this is a much larger map of the map pool. But if we had another smaller map, then I would still, pose and float the idea of a 1-base all-in. Let's go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. Leading the series 1-0 for Team Hellfire, it is MasTeR. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Mexican Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is SpeCial. Juanito. Here we go. From here, we're going to be opening up, and we should be seeing something more economic out of SpeCial instead. The reason why I say this is because welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is a much larger map of the map pool, larger map, longer rush distance by ground. As a result, we should be seeing some more economic play out of SpeCial. 1-base all-ins are less viable on these larger maps, aside from like proxies, of course. But there is no proxy, so we can now embrace a longer game state and the mid game. We can get there. From here, we are going to be settling in. Again, double gas opener once again. My apologies. We will be seeing a faster factory, a delayed CC. Technically, this could be a 1-base all-in again, but it shouldn't be. Should just be factory into command center, but eyes are on SpeCial. Intentionally does throw down the factory very far back. This does mean, 1, there's no add-on swap, but 2, it means that a probe scout at the ramp will not see what comes next. For all MasTeR knows, there could be a CC on the high ground, or there could be a factory, as MasTeR did not check the gases. Special moves out. Yep, there's that CC on location. So it is a tech heavy start, but not all in. Not yet. This can still, technically, this can still turn into a 2-base all in. Which is more of what I'm expecting. As MasTeR does get a safety shield battery. Sets up back at home. Twilight Council's on the way, this time in the main, so this time he's going to be safe and we can actually finish the upgrade. And we'll see what the players get into. SpeCial going for the dive. Yeah, he rushes past into the mineral line. Can he get any probe kills? He can. As he gets 1 probe kill, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Oh, yeah, 3 probe kills, nice damage. At the same time, he did not get behind the mineral line. Ooh, and doesn't quite. There we go. He confirms. Oh no, 4 probes. 4 probe kills. Confirms the tech. Confirms the Twilight Council. There's no Stargate or robe opener. Not here. 4 workers. Very nice damage. SpeCial comes out ahead. He does take a lead. Behind this, going to be following up with a Wooden Mine drop. With this mine drop, he'll be able to scout and check for how many gateways there are. We can see a 3-gate setup. So 3-gate blink. It's on SpeCial to confirm, as he hasn't seen additional gateways yet. That's a Medivac's on the way. MasTeR claims his 3rd. SpeCial poking in. He gets a free scout anyway. He gets a free scout, confirms all 3 gateways. Mine drop into the natural. MasTeR is distracted. Oh. Up! Does pull away in time. Whew. Thankfully. Pulls away, pulls back. Up! Catching out 2 probes. Before pulling away. And again, so far SpeCial, he has taken the lead here. He's scored how many units? 6 probes. 6 probes for only 1 Hellion and 2 Reapers, so well worth it. And what else is scary is that both little mines were saved. So SpeCial, he still has these mines in the back pocket to go back in to find more damage. He's still not done. Likewise, we have a 3-1-1 setup. So far, everything's looking normal here. Building up our tanks, building up the bio, eventually into the add-on swap, into stim. We'll see SpeCial throws down 2 more axes. A 5-axe setup would be indicative of something more aggressive and something more committed. But so far, everything looks pretty normal. Yeah, eBay's on the way for +1. There's the add-on swaps for stim and combat shields. SpeCial going for a very early push. Bold move. It's a bit of a beyond move, even more so than that. This is quite risky. Doesn't get spotted. And bleeds out a Marine. Losing 1 Marine so far. Mine drop comes in from behind. Ooh, Medevac goes down. Catches out one of the Stalkers. Yeah, gets 1. Catching at the sentry, tanks do siege, going for the dive, and he should get both tanks. Yeah, both tanks go down in the end. I don't think this is quite worth it for SpeCial. Does sort of step in, but there's a battery, and MasTeR holds. Yeah, this is very, very wasteful here from the Terran, losing everything. And what did he achieve for this? He got a sentry, he got like 2 Stalkers, not worth it for SpeCial. He throws away his army. As I mentioned, his move out was very risky. Didn't make, again, it was just really risky and really detrimental here, as he moved out pre-upgrades, pre-stim, pre-combat shields. You got 4 Stalkers. So a better trade for MasTeR. That move out was borderline like disrespectful. Like, it's like, what are we doing out here? Ay, ay, ay. Ah, es Juanito. SpeCial moves out with his own double drop. Double mines. We have MasTeR building up in towards Colossus. So blink into charge into Colossi. 4th base is going to be on the horizon. MasTeR is embracing that mid game. It's going to move to SpeCial to pull him apart and to find more economic damage. As we have that back and forth. with Special initially dealing more economic damage, but losing the main army fight. Here comes the Mind Drop, and MasTeR, does he react? Oh, he does. Pulls away. Same time main army gets spotted. MasTeR, he does likewise react to said main army. Oof, Mind Drop going off. 3 probe kills, not bad. Catching out 3 probes. Charge are in position. Special pulls away. The 4th base I will say is late. So late 4th expansion for MasTeR. But it should be thrown down soon. Oh. So far, nice bait. Close production has begun. MasTeR pulls away. There's the 4th. Again, we'll see if MasTeR can keep up with Special. As the first Colossus has arrived. I would say the MasTeR could engage with this, but it looks like he's a little bit paranoid about multi-pronged aggression. He's paranoid about drops. Kills off some Zealots. And I believe Special will spot this. He does. And denies the run by. Catching up free charge lots. Dream drop towards the natural. Uh-oh. I mean, this is a way to recover here. Special kind of stumbling his way into the mid game. But if MasTeR's caught out of position, he can lose a mineral line. Special, he distracts. Pulls away the attention. At the same time, a Doom drop into the natural. Ooh, there's a reactive warp in. Special doesn't commit. Yeah, force fields are premature. Nice Zealot Realmite gets into the mineral line. 6 SCVs go down. 7 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Crazy damage. Better moves out of MasTeR. Even recalls his Zealots to safety. And MasTeR does take a lead. From here, he's getting a second Robo, double Colossal production. At the same time, we do see Special is taking up. Ghost production is going to be underway. Vikings as well. Both players protecting their armies. Both players are building up. Zealot drop into the natural. Special is in position though. Ideally, you want to go for these drops as Special's being active on the map, while there's a distraction. And this Prism can be hunted down. Special is searching. Prism does pull away. MasTeR is maxed out. He's got his 3 Colossus. Yeah, 3 Colossus for first Disruptor as well. Honestly, MasTeR, he's in a good position here, but I don't know if it's wise to try to break a 3-basing Terran. Again, Special is very well fortified. MasTeR, he wants to trade. Vikings, they do catch the first Colossus. At the same time, Prism moves in. Now was the time. A nice drop, gets 4 CVs. This would have been the time to drop in with the Prism, distract the army, then move in with the main force here at the 3rd. But MasTeR does pull away. Special, as a result, has maxed out. Shows those Novas. A little bit premature. Bold move for the Novas. He's got 3 more. Sorry, 4 more. He's got 4 more Novas. 1 Disruptor goes down. Ooh, decent Nova. So I'm going to say Colossus. Yeah, down to 1 Colossus. Ooh, massive Nova. Novas are connecting. But MasTeR bleeds out a little bit too many Disruptors here. Even forcing friendly fire. Zealots are going down. And Special kites well. Yeah, he's just out kiting. Breaks in, massive Nova connects once again. Oh, the Nova's bappy. Yeah, Novas are connecting, but we need charge lots, we need a buffer. Yeah, disruptors are being focused down. Oof. Nova does not go off. One disruptor left. Messy fight here for MasTeR. Losing, what, 5 disruptors? And SpeCial's just rallying. Yeah, SpeCial just rallying forward. Took some massive Novas to the face, but he kills every single disruptor. Again, MasTeR was just a little bit too careless with those disruptors. If he had preserved even 3 of them, then he could have held on. I mean, looks like the warp-ins he will hold. Yeah, he does hold on here. Starting back the army. Likewise, Viking count is reduced to 0. Now would be the time for Colossus once again. Oh no! The splits. This time does split. Just once again, the disruptor goes down. Once again, doesn't preserve them. We keep losing disruptors back. But MasTeR holds. Make some Colossus. MasTeR, he's holding on. Catching out more medevacs. Oof. Chasing SpeCial down. Behind the SpeCial does claim a 4th base. And MasTeR has a high base count, but the work count is lacking. This is where we do need around 80 probes. So still making more workers. Still building up his economy. Back to Colossus. And MasTeR, he does have that economic lead at least. But things are still getting messy. Still very messy here. MasTeR going for his round by, but a couple of seconds too late. The planetary is now done. Yeah, just a little bit too late. My rolls in. Liberation has arrived. We just spent a warping on Zealots. Ooh, Zealots get thrown away. Again, mining is being denied. And mining is denied. 5 probe kills. We do have Colossus on the way behind this. Especially being so annoying with this Liberator. Denying more mining. Denies more mining, catching out 3 more probes. SpeCial being active. Both armies are remaxing. SpeCial, you never quite go back into Viking production, so this is where a heavier Colossus count can be quite effective. 2 Colossus so far. SpeCial coming in from behind. Nice swipes in the Colossus. But the space is going to go down. Does force a recall. Forces back MasTeR. SpeCial's buying time. Now that recall's on cooldown, this space should go down. Yeah, there is no recall. Takes down the expansion. Likewise, SpeCial doesn't quite catch the Colossus, overextends with the drop. But that's 16 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal damage. Oh, losing even more. Yeah, 21 probes going down. MasTeR's economy is in shambles. Linking forward. And he does get on top of the bio. Army comes over behind. Oh, can he get the Colossus? Yeah, messy fight here from both players. SpeCial, he does not get the Colossus. Barely not, but he does get the Gateway Army. Okay. Yeah, catching up the Zealots, the Stalkers. Still a better concave for SpeCial. A better surround. And with the help of the Vikings, he gets another. Gets a Colossus. Expensive losses there for MasTeR. Remember, MasTeR, he didn't rebuild his probes. He's still in a low worker count. Typically, in this kind of game state, the Protoss player has a larger bank and has better economy. That's not the case here. Technically, SpeCial, he has a better economy here on 4 bases. Has a comparable worker count plus mules. MasTeR is hurting. SpeCial's getting a fit CC. And again, MasTeR, he has not been rebuilding his probes. Yeah, SpeCial does collapse in, catching up both Colossus. Yeah, again, there's just no offense air. We do have a heavy immortal count, though. Yeah, with the help of the immortals, the marauders are a little bit less effective. Vikings force to land. MasTeR can take this fight. He needs more zealots, though. He needs more charge. They do trickle in. Oh my god, it's still not enough. Yeah, no more zealots. MasTeR has to pull away. SpeCial barely holding on. SpeCial does hold. Planetary does finish. Did cost him 11 SCVs. That does slow SpeCial's economy down. Yeah, we're getting messy. MasTeR also never made any extra workers, by the way. You know, still on 69. Oh, as MasTeR overextends. Shows Nova. MasTeR's running back SpeCial. Trying to maintain that army. I'm not too fond of the Colossus at the moment from MasTeR. He does make one, just because the Viking count is still very high. Very high. So MasTeR does rotate around again, very zealot heavy. Dancing with SpeCial. No, we got some landed Viking harass. Let's go. As MasTeR does collapse in. Picking up a couple of marauders. MasTeR can try to make his way up the ramp. He's going for it. He's pushing for the natural base. Doesn't quite commit. The Vikings, they catch the Colossus. Again, there's just no anti-air. There's 3 Stalkers. Again, it's a very cheap army here. It's very zealot heavy. Very zealot heavy. MasTeR tries to collapse in. Nice kiting here from SpeCial. They're catching out a couple of ghosts. Decent Novas. Oof. Novas once again grazing the army here. Not bad. No. Be careful with the friendly fire, man. Cuidado. Oh my god, once again SpeCial does kite into the Nova. Takes out one disruptor. Not that many left over. Once again, like, the biggest concern for me here is lack of longevity, lack of economy. Vikings a force back MasTeR. SpeCial getting breathing room. There's the recall. Recall's back home. 9 probes going down already. And again, MasTeR, he didn't really have much of an economy. Oh no, the disruptors! Disruptors get thrown away. A messy recall here at a MasTeR. He does not defend against the Vikings. Does not defend. Vikings are dropping back in. And it denies more mining, cripples the economy. It was already crippled to begin with. Throwing way more zealots. We get some decent Novas though. Novas are gonna cheese. It's the Novas once again back. The Novas are crazy. The balls, they just keep connecting. Oof. These Vikings, they just keep landing. Denying more mining. Again, Zealots, they can't really deal with this. You just keep lifting. There's just no anti-air. There's no anti-air. There's no gas for MasTeR. He didn't take his gases here on the left-hand side. He does have his high-yield gas geyser. Missing a gas geyser here as well, the third. So just a messy economy. I mean, he's down in economy. And he's being overwhelmed. Yeah, he's being overwhelmed. More probes are going down. Losing 24 workers. Massive EMPs, catching out the disruptors. Finally, GG gets called, and SpeCial overwhelmed. SpeCial ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. MasTeR, this was his game to lose here. MasTeR, I was so impressed that he was able to get into the mid game. Like, once he got there, he was able to excel, take better main fights. I will say he was out trading SpeCial, but what was killing MasTeR was his lack of economy. After losing probes, he was not rebuilding. He was not rebuilding workers. He wasn't able to replenish. He was stuck on 69 workers for a very, very long time, and of course, it plummeted even further due to the lack of economy. He couldn't afford stalkers. We were harping on the fact that he wasn't warping in back at home defensively, but he had no probes to take gases. He had no probes to saturate. He had a very, very, very low worker count, and he just couldn't afford stalkers as a result of that. And the land of Viking harass was game-ending. Like, that was brutal damage. GG. GG, well played. If it wasn't for the land of Viking harass, even with the low economy, I think that MasTeR may have been able to break SpeCial, but it distracted MasTeR, forced the recall, was killing a bunch of workers, denying any reinforcements. Like, it was rough harass. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Let's go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is SpeCial. We go. Un momento. We go as we're delving into the ace match here, the final game of the match, final game of the series, I should say. Winner of this does move on to the grand finals, and will it be our Terran or Protoss? We need to find out. We're here to find out. As once again, double gas open out a SpeCial, opening up with a Rax into factory. This can lead into a one base all in. I mentioned previously that was something we brought up on 10,000 feet for good reason, and it was a one base all in on 10,000 feet. One base all ins are viable on Ruby Rock as well. It's a very small map, short rush distance by ground. We could see SpeCial double down here once again. So that's something that has to be in the back of MasTeR's mind. Novas for thee, and Novas for me. No. I mean, again, overall, I will say that MasTeR, I want to say he was taking better fights than SpeCial, but it just came down to the economy. It came down to the fact that he couldn't reinforce his army. It was also limited with what he could make as well, due to his limited gas income. So it was very, very limited. So now we are going to be opening up. It looks like SpeCial is going to be expanding, so no one base all in. He's taking his natural. Likewise, so is MasTeR. Start building up. Oh, as he moves out, the Reapers, they do move in. Catching at 1, 2 probes, not bad. They don't quite get to scan the main base. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener, but so far SpeCial's in the dark. Going for the middle line once again. MasTeR missing a... Oh, sorry, he doesn't have a warp pin available. True. Yeah, warp pin is still on the way. Blink now has begun. SpeCial catching another probe. Another worker goes down. We got to scan to the main base, confirming the 111, confirming there is an expansion. Oh no, it's no. No. Okay, does escape. Does pull away, and we have a standard follow-up here. MasTeR going into 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink. We should be seeing a Robo soon, otherwise a third Nexus. Eyes are on MasTeR. So just opening up the room. As SpeCial, the aggression just does not end. He does rally across the map, still has the Reaper Hellion alive. And he wants that pylon. Oh, going further into the main. Bold move. He's crazy. Yeah, he's going for the dive, trying to look down that Stalker. Blink is not yet done. Yeah, Blink is done. Does get the sentry. Turns back the army. And SpeCial trying to take over the main. He shouldn't be able to, though. There are plenty of Stalkers. MasTeR does run away. He will lose 1 Stalker. Will lose 2. And 2 Stalkers get picked off. SpeCial gets into the mineral line, catching out more workers. SpeCial, he's going to be cleaned up here, and he shouldn't kill any more probes. But what kind of trade are we looking at here? Yeah, not quite worth it. SpeCial losing a Cyclone, Medevac, 4 Marines. Also, big commitment here from SpeCial. He kills 2 Stalkers in the process. If he was able to pick off the pylons and maybe like depower and take over this portion of the map or portion of the main base, then maybe, but yeah, not quite worth it. We have seen SpeCial overextend plenty of times this series so far. It's another example of that. It does at least slow down the expansion of MasTeR, and it does at least keep MasTeR at home. Ideally, MasTeR would be across the map and containing the Terran. Oh, especially with delayed tank production. Non-existent tank production. If MasTeR was more active, he could have gotten some damage done here. SpeCial is building up to a heavier bio count, earlier stim and earlier combat shields, and 0 tanks. A very heavy bio army. And MasTeR doesn't know. Yeah, MasTeR, he has no idea. Ideally, you pick away this army over time. Especially without any tanks, the Stalkers would be free to just poke in, get a Marine here or there, threaten and dive into the main. Threaten to dive into the main base. So far, the Raven is getting caught out. MasTeR trying to set up his third. Again, I believe he hasn't seen the main army yet. Just now spotting. The observer he sees. Here comes SpeCial. He has Stim. He has Stim. Combat Shields +1 isn't quite done yet. So he's missing 1 upgrade. But there's no battery ready. SpeCial just sims in. He sims in. Auto's coming in from behind. Yeah, nice turrets. Zealots, they do full. We have the energy overcharge. We have the battery, but it might just not be enough here. Yeah, SpeCial overwhelms. He just overwhelms the army. Colossus does arrive just in time. We have the Colossus. The boys. Oh my god. The boys are being pulled. 4 probes go down. And this is still a better trade for SpeCial. He gets away. He drew down 5 Stalkers, 6 Zealots, 4 probes. If it wasn't for the Colossus, he might have just broken the third then and there. Oh, speaking of. MasTeR doesn't quite catch the medevacs. SpeCial claiming his third base. Raven made it back home. Okay. Raven did make it back. And the Medics did make it back as well. So especially he pulls back home. Behind this, he has the better economy here. At this point, MasTeR, he is missing a fourth. He should have a fourth base already on the way, if not finishing by now. So late expansion, extra gateways. MasTeR, he's trying to be more secure. And this does mean that SpeCial takes a lead. Takes a lead from here. Now already working his Vikings, working his Ghost production, building up into the mid game. SpeCial was hyper aggressive, and initially it wasn't quite worth it with the drop into the main base, but the follow up here did make up for that. And now he's just settling in. He's just calming down. There's no pressure on SpeCial. The pressure is on MasTeR instead. There's still no fourth expansion, by the way. How many gateways do we have? 10. Okay, 3 base all in. No gases. No gases here. 10 gateways. No fourth expansion. Intentionally so. MasTeR is all in. So now we see why. I was harping on the fact like he has no base. It's like, oh, I see. Extra gateways. So 10 gate all in on 3 bases. Either MasTeR kills SpeCial or he dies trying. He's completely all in. And he's warping in a bunch of zealots. Unfortunately, there is some city. Dallas forced to cancel. Collapsing in. Nice force fields. Locks down the army. Ooh, but we waste some with some Colossus shots. Yeah, first Colossus goes down, so does the second. Massive pickups here. No more splash damage. And SpeCial's holding. SpeCial is holding on. Better concave. Pushing back on those stalkers. The Prism will survive. But we can just keep rallying, and GG. Yeah, GG gets called. MasTeR, he runs out of steam, and SpeCial will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SpeCial does claim the series. Again, it did make sense because of MasTeR's earlier losses to try to commit into an all-in. It was either that or he had to get a much faster fourth base to try to macro up and keep up with SpeCial. But again, we saw that SpeCial had plenty to work with back at home. He had some nice EMPs. He had built up his Viking hand as well. Just had a very comfortable lead after the damage dealt earlier in the mid-game. GG. GG, well played. But what I will say, shout out to MasTeR, because I can see him 2-0ing. Like game 2, there were a lot of moments where MasTeR was ahead. If you recall, it was just game 2 where MasTeR was neglecting his pro production, right? He was neglecting his economy, so he wasn't able to stabilize or even get a lead over SpeCial despite getting some better fights. So I can definitely see a world where he could have 2-0'd, but in the end, SpeCial did bring it back and was looking that much more dominant here in game 3. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. SpeCial does advance on, and we are going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have the grand finals here. It is going to be a best of 5 between SpeCial and El Huevito and Eggs. See you soon. See you soon after the break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Convergence Cup LatAm edition number 5, your bi-weekly dose of Latino American StarCraft. We are back with the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Juanito, between SpeCial and X. We have our best of 5, we have our TBZ, and we're jumping to game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Let's go. Let us go. Again, shout out to MasTeR. Once again, MasTeR, he did pose a big threat to SpeCial, and I can still see a World War 2-0 SpeCial in that previous semifinals, but now he's up against El Huevito instead, and it's been a long time since I've casted eggs. I'm ready, I'm excited. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Colombian Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg. It is eggs. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Mexican Terran player, we have the red Terran. It is a SpeCial. Juanito. Here we go. We're here, we are back, we are live, we are jumping into our TBZ. Opening up, we do have SpeCial with the low ground wall off. If you recall, SpeCial went for the same build against Erik, going for his own racks into factory, into delayed CC. With this, is meant to be a quote-unquote safer build, as it allows you to get into factory units a little bit faster. It also allows you to wall off faster as well. The downside is that your production is going to be exposed to 2 base Roach or Lins. We'll see if Eggs does embrace Roach play. We saw that Erik in his series kept trying to go 2 base Muta. Time and time again, he was attempting 2 base Muta, and he was being punished time and time again as well. So we'll see how our players do adjust coming into this fresh series, how Eggs adjust specifically. So far, going for a hatch pool opener, delayed gases. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, very interesting here, as he's going for a gasless opener. With this does mean that he will most likely be skipping link speed. He's going to be skipping link speed when he gets 100 gas, and most likely is going to be going into 2 base Roach and into a fast lair. That's usually what is done. Because your gases are so late, you typically just don't even waste your time with link speed. Typically. I will say that gasless openers are usually done on larger maps where you can get away with like a link speed, and they're usually done on maps where you have a secure third. So think of Celestial Enclave. Like, that's a map where you more commonly see gasless openers. It's quite rare to see this on Ruby Rock. Quite rare. So I'm curious to see how Eggs does embrace the mid game and how he gets there. Likewise, I very quickly wanted to check the because we were going over the Wardy TV Team League matches on during the podcast, and I know that Xeratus had forfeited a couple of matches, and I was curious if they had forfeited last night as well. Didn't get to see. Yeah, they didn't play. Ay. Huevito. Meanwhile, we do see, as we mentioned, because of the late gas opener, because of the gasless opener, he's going straight into the lair, he's skipping link speed. Meanwhile, the initial Reaper Hellion from SpeCial has yet to go into the main. Builds an extra wave. Catching out the first queen. Ooh, the first queen taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Has to be careful. Has to pull away. Again, this is nice damage already here because, hey, forcing a transfuse means 1 less injection. That is still damage. SpeCial confirms there's no third expansion. Something is wrong. It's looking like Roach play. Rotates over towards the natural. Another Reaper has arrived. He wants that queen. He wants it. No transfuse. Yeah, no transfuse. 1 queen does go down. He gets 1. He might get another. As one of the Hellions is very low. Behind this SpeCial going into his own follow-up. 3rd CC is on the way. Going for the Raven. It's looking like a mech. He wants that 2nd queen. He's going to get it. Oh god, 2 queens go down. Crazy damage. Meanwhile, the Roach Warren has completed. It's behind the natural, and it should be a 2 base Roach in. 2 base Roach in here from Eggs. I do like the build itself here. I do like the build of choice. But getting there is difficult as he's lacking injections now. He's lacking injects. Against SpeCial 4, he knows it could be 2. He sees the roaches. He knows. He's fully aware. Banshee production has begun. Did go Raven first. And Banshees are a hard counter to these Roach Lins. as they're just free damage on the Ravagers, on everything. Bit of a misrally. Third base is now finally being taken. We have Overlord speed on the way. That should be for Dropper Lords, but I do know that Eggs, he does like to mix in just fast Overseer Scouts. We have seen that. This should be for a German taxi though. Like there's no macroing out of this. Like there's just been so many losses. Ah, but he's getting spine crawlers? Oh no. Yeah, we spoke this earlier, but just free damage on the Ravagers. Both Ravagers go down. We have a bio follow-up, not mech, going into Stim. They're catching another Ravager. Oof. Behind this, where are the spines? Oh, okay. We have one spine for each mineral line. Hellions are going to be denied. They still get a volley from the mineral line itself. Ooh, 5 drones go down. Yeah, drones are lining up. One more volley. Oh, barely not. But that was still worth it already. 5 drone kills. That is insane. And we're going for a roach drop. We're going for a roach drop plus burrow as well. It's not an all-in. We're not committing with everything across the map. We're just going for harassment. But the pressure's on Eggs. Pressure is on. Yo, shout out to Eggs being as annoying as possible. Moves in the Overlord once again to spread creep. Drop Lord into the main. Roach is outside of the natural. And SCVs are going down. Nice damage. We do get some nice pickoffs. Real nice pickoffs. Likewise, Roach. I mean, we're still containing special on 2 bases. Third base is yet to saturate. Oof. He's looking for a way in. He does get his own third up and running. Still low drone counts, but he's getting there. Ooh, as he drop Lord does barely survive. Eggs pulling away. Still lacking saturation, but Eggs is getting there. From here, we're building up. Now, I was curious as to why this space is so undersaturated despite the worker count, but we're just a little bit oversaturated. Hopefully, Special realizes. Looks like he's just rallying to his natural. There we go. Does send them over. As he's actually following, there we go. He's following the mule. Eggs building up his heavy roach counts. Once again, though, he's kind of stumbling his way into the mid game. The economy is very lackluster, so in a head-on fight, I still do favor Special as long as he fights within range of his tanks. Should add that caveat. Banshee, free damage, forcing out a Hydroden. Special stems in, he finds the 4th. Will force a cancel. Dips in, force a cancellation. Rallies to the south on 4th. Forcing another cancel, hopefully another kill. Oh no! Ooh, does cancel in time. But Eggs is being contained. He's being contained, he's being stifled. He needs to expand soon. Yeah, so far keeping up with some of the drops. Taking up into what should be lurkers. Was revealed. Tiles reveal bar. So Tongue Clone Warriors is moving on the right hand side. We do have a nice backstab being set up here, and that can alleviate some of the pressure. But here comes the main army. Here comes the main push. And again, Special's main push cannot be stopped. Not with what X has. Base trade is the best case scenario. Roaches they do on Burrow. They hit the third. Yeah, they hit the third base at the same time. Special does not turn around. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. Miles A grades the army. Tank siege up. Fourth base goes down. Roaches they keep pushing, and so should Special. They're still moving in. Massive stim. Another armor shred on the army. Oh, and these roaches they just melt. They all go down. At the same time, the roaches of Eggs, they're still taking their time. Making their way into the natural. And they're making their way in. Getting into the mineral lines. Eggs reinforcements are being dealt with. Meanwhile, Special, his own reinforcements are defending. Oh no, he surrounds. Yeah, surrounds the roaches, locks them down. A nice bow. Oof, there's a scan. Chasing down Eggs. Special pushing into the main. Ah, the Raven stays with the tanks. No, the bird roaches, they cannot get in. I mean, it was a smart move out of Eggs, even smarter out of Special to keep the Raven with the army. No shot. The Raven came into play, baby. The detection is crazy. GG gets called, and Special, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG well played. Again, a very chaotic early game between Special and Eggs, with Eggs staying on a very low base count and going into 2 base roaches. But we saw that Special, because he went for a 1-1-1 Banshee opener after the Raven, the all-in kind of fell on its face. If you recall, I'm referring to the moment when Special caught out 3 Ravagers. He caught 3 Ravagers in the center of the map. Eggs, he fell behind. He was stuck on 2 bases, had a late 3rd base. Economically, Eggs, who was always 1 step behind that of Special, just couldn't quite keep up. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Special, he snowballed out of control, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Now, as we load into game 2, as we load into a larger map, we should be seeing more economic builds. Last game, we saw 2-base heavy play out of Eggs. Likewise, did see a more defensive opener out of Special as well. We should be opening up here. Should be embracing a longer game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Colombian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Eggs. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. We have the Mexican Terran. It is SpeCial. Leading the series 1-0. Let's go. Let us go. Now, last game, if you remember, Eggs, he went for a gasless opener into 2-base Roach, into 2-base Lair. It was very, very 2-base heavy. And it didn't really amount to much, I will say. It was shut down. Meanwhile, SpeCial, he went for the low ground racks into Factory, but this time we have the high ground racks. This time it looks like a much more standard build. Racks expand. Here we go. Once again, same build, 2 games in a row. Eggs, do you see what I see? It's going to be hatchery into a spawning pool into a very late gas geyser. So this late gas last game led into a fast lair and into fast roaches. As it's very common when you go for a late gas geyser, just skip lane speed. Skip lane speed. And go for a more roach heavy style. Technically, this could lead into a fast lair into 2-base Muta. Like 2-base Muta is another viable option here, especially on a larger map. It's a possibility. if we were casting someone like Solar, then I would be posing the idea of 2-base Hydra. But even then, I don't think Solar rushes into Spire play, or sorry, into Lair like this quickly. But 2-base Hydra has been having a rise in popularity as of late amongst the Koreans. I think we saw Reina do it as well. SpeCial does move out. Getting to the mineral line. Tonight mining, no major damage, not yet. If you remember last game, especially because of his heavy Reaper build, he was able to catch out 2 queens. But this time we're going for a 3rd CC before starport. This time we have an economic build out of SpeCial. So SpeCial's playing very, very standard, very economic. It makes sense on Winter Madness. This is a larger map in the map pool. Likewise, SpeCial just scouted the main, but oh no, did not scout the main. He's not fully aware. Oh, and a couple of things are going on here. Okay, so first things first, we do threaten the mineral line here. The Reaper is going to be zoned away. Link speed is being researched, but as you can see, we're still mining gas. That is unorthodox. So late link speed, continued gas mining into a Roach Horn, into an all-in. So it looks like an all-in out of X. Oh no, he gets in! You get a KDA charge on the Queen, the Reaper gets in, confirms gas, confirms Roaches, confirms link speed, confirms everything, and link speed is cancelled. Also, SpeCial's a deep enjoyer. God damn it. Of course he is. Goddamn weebs. But he scouts everything, so link speed is cancelled. Why is the reason for this? Link speed was only being researched for an all-in. It was going to be a Roach Ling all-in, or specifically a Ravager Ling all-in. But because it's been scouted, it will fail, so he has to cancel link speed and he goes into late lair. Late in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the build itself. Often this build leads into earlier lair. It was delayed because of link speed. So a shaky build here from Eggs. Reaper heading into the natural, catching up more drones. They're targeting one. Oof! Gets one more volley up. Gets up to 4. 4 drones go down. Nice damage there by SpeCial. Back at home is going to his own 3-1-1 setup. Once again going to safety Banshees. It makes sense considering he's up against Roaches. He also saw that link speed was cancelled. And yeah, we're getting desperate here, going to Mutas. I mean, what else can you do, right? Like with such a shaky build and a shaky start, we gotta make some twists, make some turns, either commit into Roaches or make a chance. We'll go for a chance. Take a chance even. Going for the Spire. And we'll see if this goes unscouted, right? Like, that's the big thing here. If it goes unscouted, then Eggs he can pop off. SpeCial should know that this is a possibility. From what he's seen with the fast lair, it could be an Idis all-in, could be a Roach all-in, could be Mutas, could be Hydras, could be Swarm Host. It's on SpeCial to confirm. We're now going into a very biocentric follow-up. Because the Mutas now we're actually getting to link speed. That's what, like 5:30. Finished by 6 minutes, so very late link speed. But the reason for this is because now we're switching. We're trying to be very flexible. We're trying to transition out of things, and we're trying to transition out of Roaches into Ling Muta, which is going to be very, very vulnerable to the stim timing. Stim is finishing up. Medevacs are on the way, and SpeCial he can soon move out with 16 Marines, and this is going to be a tough hold. So 16 Marines and 2 Medevacs. There's no +1 Carapace and no Baneliness to defend. Remember, the Evo Chambers have been delayed because of the Spire. Likewise, Baneliness also delayed because of the Spire as well. I mean, everything's been delayed. Mutas are revealed. Does force a stim. Not bad. Forcing out a stim, keeping the Mutas busy. And SpeCial pulls back. He doesn't want to lose his medevacs. There's the scan. Getting us in the EVA chambers, getting us in the meters. SpeCial, can he catch them? Oh! Almost gets caught himself. Nice thing run by. Gets into the mineral line. SpeCial commits across the map. It's going to be slow Banes to defend. Banshee turns around. Nice target fight. Oh, he gets the Banelings. No! Yeah, well, the Baneling's going to be denied. We're going to finish up 2 Banelings, but they should not connect. And that might just be it here. Especially stimming in, the boys are going to have to be pulled. Once again, 0 Banelings. Yeah, the boys are being pulled, collapsing on the Marines. Marines, they just started back. They kill everything. Banelings are finishing, but they're slow Banes. They should never connect. And they won't. Oh, they do. Some of them do connect towards the end. They graze the army, but still there are enough Marines left over. There's enough bio. He stems in, Bobby takes on every single muta. GG gets called, and SpeCial will take a 2-0 lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, unfortunately, a very messy early game here for Eggs. Winding it back. Remember, Eggs, he was initially going to go for a Ravager Ling all-in, but he got scouted. He was unable to deny the Reaper scouts. He was forced to cancel Ling speed, start the lair instead, and then restart Ling speed, take his gases, not make any roaches, and go into muta play. Like a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of attempted mind games there out of Eggs. But unfortunately, because he was making all these twists and turns, he was hoping that SpeCial would be more passive. He was active. With his 16 Marines, with his double medevac timing, he moved out. GG. GG, well played. SpeCial did commit across the map, and SpeCial is up 2-0. He's up 2-0. Now we're loading into the Old Republic. Let's go. SpeCial scout. I mean, as we mentioned, like, it all came down to the scouting early on. He kind of forced inefficiencies out of our Zerg player due to the fact that the initial Ling speed was scouted, due to the fact that the initial Roach one was scouted. Like, it was just a really rough early game. But here we go. We're loading into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Colombian Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg. Hello. Going for a 13-12? Going for the 13-12 in a ZVT? Quite rare. It is Eggs. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the Mexican Terran leading the series 2-0. It is SpeCial. Let's go. Now, 13-12, because the early gas mining does typically lead into early Ling speed and into a Bane bust, but you can also go for a Roach Rush as well. Like, a Roach Rush is also a viable option from a 13-12. We'll see how Eggs commits, but again, it's going to be a one base all-in. One base all-in essentially out of Eggs. Meanwhile, back at home, SpeCial going into 2-Rax Reaper. Ooh. Is this like is this just a blind counter? I think it is. Yeah, SpeCial, he's going for a late expansion into Mass Reaper early on, and he's going to have his way with this. Ling speed is being researched. You can see that Eggs, he does pull out of gas. He keeps 1 in gas, which means this should not be Roaches. Roaches do force, or they do require extra gas mining. With only 1 gas mining here, it may be Ling speed into a delayed Baneling nest, but even then, it feels kind of weird. We'll see what the gas is spent on. It might be a late Bane nest, but even then, like, you usually pull 1 more into gas. He's expanding. Going for his natural. Lings, they're flooding across the map. SpeCial, he'll have extra Reapers. And the Overlord will just now confirm. Eggs, he pokes in. Confirms the Rax on the low ground, and he confirms the second Rax as well. Yep, there it is. There's that Bane nest, as we mentioned. Like, he pulls back in. Typically, you stay in gas for a Bane bust, so this is a late Bane nest, later Bane bust. As Eggs is completely all in. He's all in. As Reaper does confirm, the boys are being pulled, the wall is fine, and there, this is falling on its face. We do have the Bane bust available, but it's such a late Baneling bust. Such a late Baneling nest. Now morphing in. There are bunkers behind this. SpeCial should be fine. It's going to be close. There's a chance here that we might break the wall before the bunkers are done. Okay, let's go. Show us a KDA charge. Very nice KDA charge. Legs a flood in. The bunker's not yet complete. Gets around. Can he get us around? Oh, 2 Marines left. Down to 1. Down to 0. He has 0 Marines remaining. Baneling is focused. Boys are being pulled, and the bunkers do complete. Oof, it was close. Yeah, but the bunkers finish. They get loaded up. Here comes the full wall. And the all-in has failed. The eggs, now he's droning. Ay, ay, ay. He only has 12 drones. Remember, this is a 13-12. He has no economy. You can't macro out of this, papi. Not like this. He's gonna try. Yeah, GG. He's not gonna try. As you mentioned, there's no macroing out of this. You cannot drone after a failed 13-12. GG gets called. SpeCial, who will claim the series 3-0. He will be this week's Conference Cup Latino American champion. GG. GG, well played. SpeCial, who will claim the series. Again, just a really rough early game here from eggs, both in game 1, 2, and 3. Actually, it was a lot of it came down to the initial builds. A lot of it came down to the early game. Game 2, of course, we had eggs being scouted, so we had to kind of shift gears time and time again to try to come up with a build, and he went into late mutaplay as a result, so SpeCial was able to punish. Here in game number 3, we saw, I would say, a little bit indecisive play out of eggs, where it looked like a 13-12, but he pulled out of gas. Because he pulled out of gas, and because he pulled back in once he realized what was going on, it meant that the Bane bust was late. It was a later Bane bust, so that gave more time for SpeCial to prepare. Every second counts, especially in this kind of early kind of game state. Otherwise, we might have seen that build work. It would have been closer. Would have been much closer. Likewise, game 1, it was also fully scattered, where we saw the attempted 2-base all-in by eggs. It was meant to be a 2-base roach all-in, but it got scattered, got shut down, and then he was stuck on 2 bases and went for a very late 3rd expansion. So all 3 games, just a really rough early game, and GG. GG, well played with that. SpeCial does claim the series, and is going to be our champion. Shout out to MasTeR. MasTeR did pose the biggest threat to SpeCial, and I can still see MasTeR 2-0ing SpeCial. Like, game 2 was very intense, was very close. I will say it just came down to MasTeR's lack of macro, where he was not replacing his workers. As he was losing probes, he wasn't rebuilding them, and that did eventually mean that SpeCial was able to recover and bounce back from a deficit. But in my mind, that was like the series of the broadcast was SpeCial versus MasTeR, but GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations, SpeCial will claim it. And again, shout out to Cosmos. Cosmos has been hosting these events, or has begun to host these events on a regular basis. Once again, every 2 weeks, there should be a Conference Cup Latino America. Let's go. Let's go. Great to see some Latin American StarCraft returning after, you know, years of being gone, after years of no Sentimiento Latino, or Batallas de las Américas, or La Espida as well, you know. Rest in peace, La Espida. Feels bad, man, feels bad. But great to see that Cosmos does kind of take up that mantle to host these events on a regular basis. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the morning. A bit of a shorter broadcast today, but perfectly fine. Like, I'm giga tired. We've been trying to reorganize ourselves when it comes to our schedule, and in doing so, let's catch up on the schedule itself. Let's go. Let's catch up on the schedule here. As you can see, we do have our weekend ahead of us. We do have KSL. KSL is going to be our next broadcast. That's going to be in around 24 hours. 24 hours time. We'll be live here with the Korean StarCraft League. We'll then have RSL over the course of the evening on Saturday and Sunday. So RSL playoffs will be beginning. It's going to be 2 series for each broadcast. It should be pretty short broadcast for the RSL. Likewise, we have the Thermal 2v2 circuit over the weekend. If you remember, we are adminning and running that event. We do not cast it. We're going to be running the Thermal 2v2 circuit, and we have, of course, more StarCraft over the course of the week with Pegasus Cup, Woody TV Mondays, Tuna Cups, and Kung Fu Cups as well. A lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. Might have to reorganize a couple of things here and there, just because yeah, we might have to just reorganize a couple of things just to open up some of our mornings. But otherwise, overall, it should be a nice week of StarCraft. Let's go. I do have to double check some of the StarCraft Evolution replays, just because I know that SEVO did have a patch and a bunch of replays were broken, so we have some messiness there. But we'll try to get back into some SE Evo as well. We'll attempt to. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Do appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Korean StarCraft, for some KSL, and for some RSL as well. True. Also, I don't mind saying this. Yeah, I'm fine saying this. Once again, last season, if you remember, I was one of the judges for TLMC, and I should be a judge once again this season for the Team Liquid map contest. So it is going to be exciting. I think last time I was doing some judging streams on my personal channel. I think this time I might do some judging streams on the CranKy Ducklings instead. We might do that here. But we'll see. Like, we also have to try to organize some judging streams to be able to go through some of those maps. There's going to be a lot of submissions once again, and there's kind of a lot to go through. But yeah, I might stream that here on the CranKy Ducklings. We'll see. We'll figure things out once we kind of get to the point where we're judging those maps, when we're going through them. We'll try to organize some streams. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some KSL. See you tomorrow, Pat. Hasta luego.